Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to another video from Team White & Sons Mazda. Firstly, I apologise, there's quite a lot of wind here today, so I hope you can hear me clearly. But here we have a Mazda 6 that we've just taken in part exchange late this morning. Now, the car was actually supplied by ourselves, TW Whites in Orpington from New, and this is a Mazda 6 2-litre SEL petrol automatic. Oh, sorry about that, some cyclists just came up behind me and scared the life out of me. So I'll reiterate, it's a 2-litre SEL Nav automatic car in machine grey. Now, the car itself is a 2018 67, so this was registered Jan or Feb of 2018. Okay, so it's coming up 3 years old. Yeah, that's right, coming up 3 years old. The car's in lovely condition. A little bit of history about the car. The previous owners, this is probably the third car that they've had from ourselves. They do change their cars every 3 years. Well, just before the MOT and the third service is due, they tend to change their cars. Well, they do change their cars. So we know the car really well. We know the owners very well. They bought a CX-5 this time round. Now, let me show you in the boot. You've got a 60/40 folding boot, so even though the car is a saloon car, it'll have a they fold down here, so you've got a massive boot in there. So great big huge boot. Now, the car had a reverse camera fitted from New, because it's not a standard feature on this car, but it's a very easy accessory to fit. It's kind of plug and play, and it integrates into the current sat nav. Oh, now let me, sorry about that, the radio's burst into life. Now, what's really impressive about these 6s is the seating area. It's very generous, and a lot of the room, if you notice how deep this back seat is, really deep, so it makes it very comfortable for passengers. Now, I always had Mazda 6s as company cars. They were my favourite. It was a favourite car in the Mazda range, but I've subsequently opted out of the company car scheme, and I don't drive Mazda 6s anymore, but I do miss them. So when I get the opportunity to drive them, I jump at the chance. The car's in lovely condition. We literally gave it a 10-minute wash just so I could take the photos and the video of the car, and then we'll give it a more thorough clean at a later date, hopefully later on this week. You've got automatic folding wing mirrors, because this is like the facelifted car. You'll notice it doesn't have a manual handbrake. That's one of the telltale signs. You've got a height adjustable driver's seat. You've got lumbar support, so really nice, comfortable drive. And these cars do employ the Mazda SKYACTIV technology. So basically, they went through the car, made it as light, as strong, and as fuel efficient as possible. The main trickery is with the engines. The engines are high compression petrol engines, so they atomize a lot better, and they're really fuel efficient. So this won't be very spiteful on fuel, and we all like that, because that will save us money and it's good for the environment. So let me just show you inside the car. Now, you've got a regular, and I say regular not in a boring way, but you've got a 6-speed seamlessly gear changing gearbox. A lot of manufacturers, and Mazda did for a little while, went over to these like semi-automatic boxes, which I find are jerky, they roll back on hills, and they're not as reliable. These are a proper 6-speed auto gearbox, which with a seamless gear change, which I think is really good. And if you want, you can knock it into manual and drive it like so. I wouldn't do that myself, but I suppose if you're on a steep decline, or you're towing a caravan or something like that, it'd probably come in useful. Now, the car has the Mzd Connect, so this is the more up-to-date sat-nav and infotainment system. So you've got apps there, really boring stuff, but if you did decide you wanted Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, you can upgrade this. They do something at the back, a bit of hardware, and then you'll have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto appear there, and then you can screen mirror all your bits and pieces. In the entertainment, you've got various sources: FM, AM, DAB, AHA stitcher and Bluetooth, and you've got USBs as well, and the USB lives in here. 2 USBs, they charge and they read data, and there's a little 3.5mm jack in there as well. Okay, and you've got climate control here, and you can have this dual zone if needed. With DAB, it gives you a lot more choice of radio stations. I'm a big fan. You've got KISS there, you'll have KISS3, you'll have, oh, I don't know, all sorts of ones that I've never heard of, and you can have Talk Sport in digital, so none of that crackling on medium wave. Now, the car had a reverse camera fitted. There you go. When it was new, I remember that was the caveat to the deal. I needed to fit a reverse sensor, which we happily did. So that's an extra. It's not something that's standard on the SE-L model. Now, I've covered the climate. You've also got a CD player. You've got the engine